Greetings, everyone, and welcome to our Power Thinking, rejuvenating your amazing mind training for Wednesday. It is December 10th, 2025. Not much time left in this year, and we want to make sure we use every single minute constructively. Always a pleasure to be here. Hope your week's going well, your day went well, and with our guest who joined us again, Annie, who's a Power Thinking member, is using the app, actually promotes the app on the various events that he has as a partner, and we're sponsoring him. So we're going to be talking to Annie in a minute. And feel free, folks, out there on our phone platform to hit *6. Love to hear from you. And of course, on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Twitch. Feel free to leave any comments as we go along. We'll post them on the screen. Of course, this is our opportunity each week to focus on a particular inner strength or skill of this thing we call resilience, this evidence-based material that came out of the University of Pennsylvania's Positive Psychology Center, designed to help every human being on the planet to be able to bounce back from life's adversities faster. Now, you may say that at this time of year, it's December, we have the December holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, it is, positioned as a time of joy. And unfortunately, there are folks going through more stress during this period of time than many do all year. So how does something meant to be joyful turn into something that is extremely stressful? So we want to focus on that this evening because we need resilience in order, these resilience inner strengths, these skills, to keep ourselves moving, when for some reason, and there may be various reasons why we can get into a little bit of a funk. Quite frankly, that happened with me yesterday. I couldn't figure it out. Hey, how's this happening? And there are a lot of things that I needed to get done. I'm planning this event for my high school coach, and we have all the things that we're doing to prepare for family coming in. Couldn't quite put my finger on it, but I stayed focused on the things that we talk about, right? In particular, what we've been talking about over the past few weeks with gratitude and turning anything negative to a positive, avoiding the thinking traps. And it's amazing how well it worked today. Very, very different. Got a lot done. And a lot of it is because I'm with you. We're connecting, right? That's reaching out and we are connecting. So really happy to have you with us. Today we focus on managing stress during the holidays. Reducing the amount of stress during the holidays. And we shared about 4 minutes, I believe, video with you that highlighted 10 things that you can do to reduce stress and manage that stress, particularly during this time of year. Now, I have, as I mentioned, as my special guest, a member, fully supportive of Power Thinking before we had the app, was a member and joined the app and has helped us tremendously in getting the word out over LinkedIn in particular. Annie Osung, and Annie is a marketing guru. I mean, he makes people famous on LinkedIn. Folks come to him and say, "Hey, you know what? I want to be a creator. I want to lead a room. I don't know where to start." And within weeks, these folks are become well known, and that's his tagline: "We make you famous." And if you're watching us on any of the platforms, you'll see that. So Annie's in the UK. So Annie, thank you for joining us. It is now about I would imagine about 2:30 or so in the morning on Thursday in the UK, and you were with us earlier today for our morning session. So I do appreciate you coming back. So welcome. Let everybody know a little bit about you, a little bit about the UK this time of year and what goes on. Welcome.
Well, thank you for the lovely introduction. So, power thinking I can see the benefits for sure. Bite-sized mindset teaching is what I call it. And
It is.
I think that of course the power of mindset is important, and we do have to develop that resilience you talked about earlier. Look, in the UK, yeah, it's 2:30 in the morning. I'm not. I work at night anyway, so I'm always awake. So I have no problem being awake this time at all. Yeah, here when I say we love our Christmas. I say we have this thing about almost being when we anticipate Christmas as if it's the biggest day of the year. It's probably bigger than your birthday, your wedding anniversary, and every maybe anything that's bigger than Christmas is the birth of your child. Yeah, but no,
Mm.
we love Christmas. And then people go all out. Yeah, and uh, it, the idea is to have fun. Obviously, to have fun. I guess being a Christian country, there is an element of we maybe ought to remember more about why we have Christmas. There's a reason for it. The Jesus story. I'm saying there's a reason for it, right? And it
Mhm.
is about spending time with family, with friends, and having a good time.
Yeah,
You know,
that's great. Now tell us, are there, you mentioned this morning, which was really interesting. We take our holidays for granted, and, we, in America, unfortunately, don't think about what the rest of the world does and all of the things that they do differently. So and you mentioned this morning, say, well, we don't have Thanksgiving.
mm,
So all the energy is poured into Christmas.
mm,
And
yeah,
so tell us, what does Christmas look like leading up to it, and um, and on that day. And you mentioned something about a Christmas tree in every room.
mm,
Uh, I've never seen that. It's like at least growing up, it was, and today it's one Christmas tree. Usually prominently displayed, a big one in the living room or family room. So talk about that.
yeah. So we have the trees in every living room for sure. Maybe I am. We're spoiled in my house where we have many living rooms. I got my living room. My wife's got her living. Our main living room. That's her living room. My son has his own living room too. So each living room has to have a Christmas tree. And of course with that comes the lights. Our houses outside. People have Christmas lights. There's Christmas lights and there's Christmas lights. When that Coca-Cola advert, all those bright lights. As that truck drives down the road, many of our streets look like that. They're literally Christmas is. It's expensive for those who choose to have those sort of lights. But
Mhm.
it is a remarkable affair. For the Christmas week itself, I'm going to stop work on the 20th. So we do take time off. We do stop
Hmm.
work. There's not Christmas Day is a bank holiday here. Day after Christmas Boxing Day is a bank holiday as well.
Mhm.
It's almost like nothing happens in that week after between Christmas and New Year because we love our New Year's Day, our New Year's Eve as well.
Uh-huh.
And again, that's not so. This is a bank holiday, so shops are not open. The streets are very quiet. Everything is all about celebrating Christmas with those you love.
Hmm.
Of course, we are as guilty as anyone else for commercializing Christmas, for making it, for spending money that we don't need to spend, for buying too many gifts, spoiling our kids and spoiling, the people we love, right?
Hmm.
You will see some pets in Christmas gear, by the way. You see dogs and cats in Christmas coats. So we're not shy about Christmas at all. We go all out for it.
Right. About that. Now, have you experienced incidents where people are not feeling very joyous during the
Yeah.
holidays for various reasons? May have lost a loved one some time ago, on Christmas Eve or near Christmas, or now you're without parents and you remember those times. And so, talk a little bit about. the experiences that folks have in the UK with, being down during this joyous time of year.
Yeah, look, now it's a harsh reality of life, right? Things
Mm.
happen, and some things happen around Christmas for people. Some people will have memories. Say people they've lost, whether it's Christmas Day or even the month of December can be ruined by a memory of someone you've lost, right? So some people are not- they're on their own. They're lonely on Christmas. It's
Mm.
a sad reality, and it happens. I think the elderly as well tend to struggle, especially if someone's partner's gone, for example, then you have to spend Christmas by yourself. What do you do? Do you invest in all the celebrations? Maybe not. So I did a room. I was in a room. So I did a room yesterday with Lisa Febeck, and she talks about people in midlife, in menopause, for example, who the mothers, the women who have to prepare Christmas for us to enjoy them. They have to prepare all the food. So wait on the hand, wait on everyone, and the family members that come round. Suddenly, Christmas is not a fun experience in that sense. It's more a job. It's a chore,
Mm.
which can cause enormous stress. I think it's about finding strategies to take the edge away from the stress. It part of me thinks we put it on ourselves.
Mm.
My brief is quite simple. My brief on Christmas Day is it's going to be me, my wife, my son, and possibly some relatives.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to wake up like I always do, aim to have a good time. That's what
Mm.
like I said earlier. It's a 24-hour period. It's 24 hours. It's not. It's not overnight. It's from when you wake up in the morning. What are we saying? 6:30 in the morning to midnight.
Mm.
That's it. Just that's all we have to survive. Say maybe
Mhm.
an extension of the issues that people have on Christmas around the stress is people tend to save meeting some family members until Christmas. And so,
Mhm.
in England, we have this habit of saving arguments for Christmas Day. I'm like, why do you want to do that? Don't save your arguments. Have your arguments day before, day after. Christmas Day, just take the stress away and just aim to enjoy good food, time with family, even if even if things go wrong. You mentioned resilience earlier, to Stanley. I said if things go wrong, just brush it off. Do your best to just let it go. It's not gonna. It doesn't really count. It doesn't really matter.
Mm.
It's,
Mhm.
yes, you expect something. You expect some things to happen. You expect to have the best of everything. But if you don't have the best of everything, make do what you have. Be grateful for what you have. Truly,
Sure.
because the day will pass quicker than we ever realize.
Yeah.
I do Christmas maybe in three parts of my day. I wake up early. I do the early part. That's when the kids normally open their gifts. But my son's getting older now, so we haven't got and our grandkids are not here this Christmas. So I'll get through that part as quick as I can. Then I'll probably have
Mhm.
a nap. Then lunchtime comes, and I want to get through to when the meal comes, about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I want to eat and drink and be merry. Then it's time to sleep again. Next time I wake up, it's 9 o'clock in the evening. So literally Christmas is nearly
Yeah.
over. And that's when we try
Sure.
and tuck into the leftovers. Let's call it that, right? And then
Yeah.
it's done. You know. So
So talk. I have Carla Hill on the line, and anyone else hit that *6. I want to get a feel before we get into just managing stress and the video that we shared, and these elements of resilience that we we reinforce. So talk about what's at the dinner table on Christmas in the UK.
isn't it the same the world over? Look, now turkey is a big part of Christmas for us.
Okay.
You know, so of course there's turkey, there's potatoes. You know, in England we have Yorkshire puddings. I don't know whether you have anything even equivalent to Yorkshire puddings. You know, it's like it's a baked thing. It's like, you know, it's not quite pastry. You know, and so essentially you mix the potatoes, the Yorkshire puddings, you know, the turkey, which, you know, turkey normally has stuffing and whatever other treats that, you know, people put in them, right? You know, so my
Mm-hmm.
wife does go all out and cook stews. There'll be lamb stew, there'll be other stews. You know,
Oh, stews.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you know, no, we do have a great Christmas. You know, so no, there's probably rice as well somewhere. You know, so
Right.
that's the main meal. Of course, the dessert. You know, there's Christmas log and chocolate. You know, it's like a chocolate cake thing. You know, and then
Mm-hmm.
we have mince pies. My wife normally enjoys the cheese. I don't know what to call it. It's a cheese platter. That's all it is really. Different cheeses.
Okay.
You know, and
Mm-hmm.
she gets to eat. They are horrid, by the way, because, you know, she likes. You know, if you're into cheese, you're into smelly, moldy cheese, blue cheese.
Ah,
Yeah, cheese that I would never eat. I just look at it and go, no thanks, right? You know, but
right.
no, there's lovely food around. There's all sorts that we can get. And I say the shops are
Right.
closed, so, you know, you can't just like go out and buy anything. You do have to sort of
Mm-hmm.
stock up to make sure you have all you need before the.
Now you mentioned puddings. What are the types of puddings?
There's Christmas pudding, which is horrid.
Christmas pudding.
Yes,
So that's throughout England. It's the
yes,
standard
yes,
Christmas pudding.
yes. There's something called Christmas
Okay.
pudding. Yes, you know, I don't know how to describe it. You know, it's a dense mix of it's fruit. They call it mince here, right? No, it's not mince. You know, that mince pie hasn't got mince in it. It's got some fruit berry, some fruit thing inside it, right? Well, Christmas
Okay.
pudding is a dense thing that no one can eat. So we would try and
Kind
fight
of like
our
our
way through
seafood.
it. But no, we
Right.
never do actually get through it. You know, Christmas pudding tends to last for year after year. Bring it back next year, and then it's still there. It's still there at the end. You know, you might have it with maybe
Right.
a liqueur sort of, you know, sauce, sauce on it, and even a butter sauce maybe sometimes. You know, I'd rather have it with custard to at least make it a bit more tasty. You know, so, you know,
Got it.
there's standard things, but each family has their own unique way of doing it. So maybe that's another lesson for
Sure.
all of us. Make Christmas your own.
Sure.
You know, don't have to
Yeah.
follow traditions. Do what works for you.
Sure. Great. Great. Let's go to Carla Hill, who's on the line. Carla, mention where you're joining us from and your thoughts about Christmas, but particularly what folks can do when they are, a little down during this festive time of year. What do you do to help yourself, to help other folks, and perhaps your thoughts about the video that we shared. Welcome.
Oh, yeah, thank you. And I just love the global presence of our guests today. Just hearing other cultures always excites me. I'm calling from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So I think I have mixed feelings about the holiday because it's a lot of times it's very commercial, but I also love the pause, the intentional pause. Because I probably would not take a break if there was an intentional pause to
Mm-hmm.
in family, and people do tend to be a little bit more friendly
Mm-hmm.
during times. And I love the video just in terms of a checklist, so to speak, and there are 10 items listed on there, and because of the intentionality of resilience, building resilience, and personal improvement, I have to say that several of the tools that I'm implementing, and even the subliminal message. And when I went shopping today, number 2 on her list of the 10 things that will help de-stress is a citrus scent.
Mm-hmm.
And I put my hand soap this week, um, just in terms of the lemon.
Mm-hmm.
But they talked all about these things that that I'm implementing, and I was happy about that. The no sugar, the quiet time. And why I attend the morning and the evening sessions, Stanley, because what I see, for me, I'm just speaking for me, is it gives me an opportunity to practice the content that I've been exposed to in terms of that you share.
Yes.
And what I noticed, I had two. Well, one was like a major real estate transaction that my husband and I were dealing with. And before the call, I sat for 5 minutes to put myself, just to be quiet, just to think. And what, for me, as I was doing that, because growing up, I was like really into spectator sports, and so I use a lot of sports analogies. But if you look at and I know you're a basketball guy, so the basketball players that take their free throw shot, there's always not always, but with a lot of them, they have some type of habit, some type of ritual.
Yes.
Deep breath, tapping their toe. The same thing with pitchers, baseball pitchers. It's like they do the same thing. So it's hard to get yourself mentally ready. And I was listening to a John Hope Bryant podcast today, and he's an entrepreneur that's just done great things for the community and himself. It's a win-win sort of thing. But he talked about his ability to just let out a lot of stuff that's noise, right?
Mm-hmm.
The holiday, the vendors, they have a mission. I respect it, right? I'm a business person. I respect Black Friday and all that other kind of stuff. But that doesn't mean I have to fully participate. People present offers, but you don't have to accept the offers. I choose the offers with the family and the friends, the other stuff that comes with it. So that's what comes up for me. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Well, thank you, Carla. Really appreciate it. And, taking that pause. There's so much rushing going on that one of the things that we can do is just simply, pause, be still, kind of, focus on the positives as opposed to getting so caught up in, I have to get this done. I have to get that done and I'm behind schedule. And I think that was part of me yesterday. I had so many things I had to get done and felt that I was way behind. And did take some quiet time and focused on all the things that, I'm grateful for, wrote down before going to bed the 3 things that happened that was great, the things that I did get done that day, so I don't move into the next day going, oh my gosh, I still have all these things to get done. So let's do this, before you comment. I want to acknowledge all the folks who have joined us, and I thank you for inviting many of the folks. If I go all the way back to the beginning, I saw Lisa. This morning, by the way, we had everyone, we had 7 countries represented, from Pakistan to South Africa and Nigeria. We had, of course, the UK, Trinidad and Tobago. There were a few others as well. So really appreciate that. And I saw that Kenneth Dooner was the first on. We see Charlie Lewis, Lisa Fevick, and is it Nomi? Noni. Noni, thanks for joining us as well. And we had James Kunkel, who joined us on LinkedIn, and Chirito. I know Chirito is in the Philippines, where it's now Thursday, I would imagine. So, and William Rochelle. William, I remember seeing you for the first time when I was a guest on, and I spoke at one of Annie's events, and you had some very insightful things to say, and quite the following on YouTube. So congratulations, what you do. David Jones, who is the master in AI, and is helping a lot of folks to do their thing with AI. So we really appreciate you all being with us. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Annie, your thoughts about what Carla was mentioning, and other things that folks can do to kind of reduce the amount of stress, especially during this holiday season.
Yeah, that's some amazing points. Thanks for sharing, Carla. You always share good stuff, and I always get to listen to you. So, it's nice to be. It feels like I'm on stage with you today, right? I think that it is about taking the stress out of the situation, and the stress that we put on ourselves. There's many ways, right? So we don't need to do anything, like you said. We don't need to do anything on the schedule. If the meal is not ready at any particular time, if anything, this is the one day we get to relax and say, it doesn't matter. I think we need to take maybe the word is expectations. And if someone has expectations, get over them, right? And we have to just learn to be nicer people on the day. Let's just aim to be nice, to be happy, to bring joy to others. It's a rare occasion. Of course, there's things that we can do. Leaving our phones behind. And maybe enjoying some music. Carlos spoke earlier about even taking that downtime for what it is. Keeping out that quiet time can be used in many different ways. So we can essentially sit quietly. We can meditate if we want to. We can. Some people pray, right? Some people go for exercise. So anything that just takes away the drama of the day. We need to find joy. That's what Christmas is, and the fact that we haven't got to work. When we enjoy our Christmas, we come back the other side more refreshed. If all we've done is taken more stress into our lives, then the break is almost nullified, right?
Sure.
We need to find the joy in our lives.
Well, I want to go over our framework. Remember, folks, our brains are processing 50,000 thoughts a day, and probably more during this time of the year, because there's so much that has to be done in a short period of time. And then, of course, on that day, we kind of relax and go, "Wow, that was a lot for just one day." So we have these 7 inner strengths of resilience. It was discovered by the decades of research out of the University of Pennsylvania's Positive Psychology Center. The first is emotion regulation. So that's what we're talking about here. We have these 5 big negative emotions where we can get angry, feel guilty, right? Feel embarrassed, the loss of standing, sad, maybe pure loss. Around this time, we may have lost loved ones. And of course, that anxiety, the fear of this future threat. I spent all of this money, and in January, I got to pay back these credit cards. So there's a lot of emotion during this time of year, and our ability to regulate that emotion is absolutely key. There's impulse control, the ability not to say or do the first thing that comes to mind. You talk to any about the get-togethers, and typically there's some kind of argument. It could be about politics. It could be about world affairs. And we have some relatives that are pretty good at impulse control. We have others that have no filter, right? So that helps us to push through without problems. Impulse control. There's empathy around this time of the year, understanding other people's experiences and emotions. There's self-efficacy, the belief that regardless of, that we didn't get all the things done in 2025, that 2026 is going to be a great year. And we did get some things done, and we have this belief that we can succeed. There's optimism, there's causal analysis, and then the most important, especially this time of year, and it's one of the 10 things that was mentioned in the video, and that's reaching out, connecting with other people. It's actually the top response in the poll that I have on my LinkedIn page, where I asked, what is one of the most effective ways to reduce stress choices. Hey, you have a budget, stay within the budget, connect with others. And then we had folks, give their own perspective and own responses. And connecting with others was the most popular. I think we were at 71% of the folks said connecting with others is the most important. We have our skills. We're not going to get into them, but one of the things certainly would be to avoid these thinking traps. We can jump to conclusions about things. We can beat ourselves up too much because perhaps we're behind in whatever we're trying to accomplish before the end of the year, and we got to stay away from that. We can externalize. We can blame others. Some people blame the holidays, for their stress. We minimize good things and we magnify the negative things, and we make it a big catastrophe, and we have to avoid that. And there are others as well. So, let people know how they can get in touch with you. Certainly on the app, on our Power Thinking app, in the My Chat section, you can reach out and leave a message. What are other ways that folks can reach out to you?
LinkedIn is where I spend most of my time. As I do say, so please connect with me on LinkedIn if we're not connected already. So I'd love to know what people do, and I hope to let them know what I do too. And I think that just reaching out is one of the gifts that we have. Even like at Christmas or in our working lives, right? So we have to learn to embrace the gifts that people giving brings to us.
Yes.
I actually see asking for help where necessary as a gift. It's a gift from the gods, essentially. So when it comes to
Yes.
Christmas, if you're having a hard time, we talked earlier about people who are on their own for whatever reason. I'm saying there's people out there, and there's clubs. In England we have social clubs, youth centers where people can go and get some food, meet other people. There's even online events, Stanley, on Christmas Day, by the way. And I'm saying I know people who do marathons. So they run. So people who run events every 3 hours. You have a different host. And so there's always someone to talk to. We have to learn to reach out. It's not a bad thing, right? So
it is actually a great thing.
Reach out.
It's a strength and not a weakness. So, Annie, thank you again so much. It's now 3 a.m. on Thursday in the UK. So I really appreciate you, taking the time. And for others who are joining us from different countries where it's a different day, different time zone, we appreciate each and every one of you. And remember, since we spend all of our time thinking these 50,000 thoughts a day, we must think with power and utilize power thinking. Make sure you go to the Apple Store, the Google Play Store, download the 30-day free trial app, and take advantage of that 30-day free trial. I'll even give you, if you do it tonight, a $10 Amazon e-gift card. So you're going to net, $10 for trying us out. And mention, if you do, because I'll check the database, that any referred you, because I know he's played the commercials, and if you have heard it from him before, then we'll make sure that he gets the credit. By the way, Annie, you have to beat Carla Hill. She's number one in referring folks. She has in excess of 10 people so far, so she's actually making money from the Power Thinking app. So let me go to the folks. I mentioned the folks who are on LinkedIn and the other platforms. Let me go back to where we are on the telephone lines and greet everyone. Thank you, everybody, because I didn't mention you earlier. Eric Olson and Claudia Nesmith. We have wireless caller. Joan Breston, good to see you. Calvin Patterson, Layla Llewellyn, Greg Jones, Doug Sidoti. Doug, we're okay to use the referral link now. Christy Williams, good to see you as well. Take care, everybody. Make it a fantastic remainder of the week, and we'll see you again next Wednesday. Have a great one.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Bye. All right, and on LinkedIn and YouTube and X and Facebook and Twitch, we appreciate you as well. Annie, thank you very much. Take care, everybody, and we will see